Hey, I'm Mr. Cole. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the rider careers. Patrick McDonald has risen to the cream of the crop, the MotoGP class after winning the Moto2 title. Can he have a fantastic debut on board of the Aprilla Gresini machine in Qatar? So I was an idiot and forgot to record qualifying, but as you can see, Vinales is on pole ahead of Marquez and Rossi, and there is Green still in 9th, ahead of his teammate Spargo's in 11th, ahead of Jorge Lorenzo, ahead Lunas Volga as well in that 4th row, and there's Sam Lowe's right at the back. And there's a very different sound in Aprilla to the Moto2 machine he's used to as the lights appear and go out for this 6-lap race under the lights running the South International Circuit in Qatar. A fantastic start for McDonald. Almost alongside Cal Crutchlow in front, and looks like Iannone going around the outside. McDonald touching with Zarco and all. And looks like Pedrosa's missed out as all. McDonald almost into the back. But is that Crutchlow? He's gone around the outside of the Brit, up into the top 5 in his first race at MotoGP level. What a start on the Aprilla. Now can he hold on as he runs wide though into the right? That's allowed Crutchlow through. Ian only has a little look. Oh, but McDonald holds them off. Great job. As you can see in front, it's just the superstars, the 2 Yamahas at the top. There's all Crutchlow has been overtaken by Pedrosa behind for 7th. Ian only up to 6th as well in the Suzuki. Or should I say Pedrosa up to 6th on the Honda. And then you've got Marc Marquez in 3rd. Somehow still under 25, but has won so many world championships. And Andrea Dovizioso, world champion in his own right as well, at 125cc level. But very quick on that Ducati. So let's see Pedrosa will get to McDonald, or can McDonald get to the top 4 before the underman passes him? And Danny, a multiple world champion at 125 and 250cc level, but never at MotoGP level. He's been the bridesmaid on so many occasions. And now, of course, to his teammate Marc Marquez, who's an unbelievable talent. Along with the likes of Matt Vinales, you've got Alex Rins as well. In the field, all young Spanish talents. They're going to dominate Grand Prix motorcycle racing for many years to come. We can see Dovi just over a second in front, Pedrosa 4/10 behind as Rossi into the lead ahead of Maverick. Telling his young teammate, who's boss is he? As all McDonald goes around the outside of Dovi. And all gets all over the curves but holds off the Ducatis into 4th. Now can he hit the apex of this right-hander? That's better, still around wide on the exit. And so the Ducati gets back by the Aprilla. But McDonald not having that for long. Down the inside of Dovi like he wasn't even there. Where was the defence? And now he's chasing down Marc Marquez in his first MotoGP race. Good short shifting up. Just following the lines of the Honda. It's the Aprilla. Very good handling bike. May sound a bit weird. Have to get used to that. Especially for engine braking. Very important to hear those sounds properly. As he runs right in the first right. Where's Dovi? Not there to take advantage. So he's around a second behind Marquez. Got Dovi right in his tail though. Just a 10th behind. Now the Yamahas are battling for the lead. And oh, McDonald down in the penultimate corner. Trying to use way too much curb. And drops back down to 14th after being in 4th. That's a comeback down to earth. He gets into the back of the Premac. And I believe that is Petrucci. As Rossi, fastest at 54.5. McDonald definitely got the pace though of the front runners. Can he battle his way back into the top 10? He's got Chapman there behind. The Mark VDS machine. Here goes McDonald trying to sneak down the inside. Not just Petrucci, but Redding. Got Volga, and that's past his teammate as well. into the top 10. I know his teammates in front. Is that Crutchlow dropping back then? As here we go, Spargo and McDonald, elbow to elbow for the first time this season. No doubt it's going to be on many occasions. It will be like that. And here's Crutchlow. He's dropped out the top 10 after being in the top 5 on the opening lap. He's got Volga ahead of Redding, and here comes McDonald diving down the inside of a leash. Diving past Zarco as well. He's got overtaken by Lorenzo, and oh, Lorenzo cuts off McDonald there for 7th. But now here comes the Aprilla down the inside into the right-hander. Doesn't quite work. But he's in a dogfight. Oh, with Johan Zarco, the double Moto2 champion. We'll go Lorenzo. If I remember correct, it's a double 250cc world champion. There's won, I think it's 4 titles at MotoGP level, or 3. Okay. The most successful rise of the last decade. And stepping up, and oh, Zarco. Very aggressive Frenchman. So a few corners now, snicking his nose in. Trying to do it in the final corner as well, in his Tech 3. Aprilla gets away in 8th. As we go into the second half of this race, Patrick McDonald looking at home at MotoGP level. He's trying to dive down the inside of Lorenzo from a long way back. Jorge would not have expected that. But the cojones of McDonald. Someone stopped his bike there in time. And as behind Andrea Iannone, another aggressive rider, the Italian, in 6th on the Suzuki. Very good start to the season for Suzuki. Iannone. You know what? Pedrosa in 5th. Not too far off. Top 5 could still be in the offering for McDonald if he plays his cards right. And he's got a fantastic run on the Suzuki. Looking to the outside. Looking to the inside. Elbowing his way by Iannone. Sometimes that's the only way you can get past the Italian. McDonald up into 6th and Pedrosa just over a second in front. So using all that curve through the left-hander. Got to be careful of not doing that in the penultimate corner, of course, but what a debut at MotoGP level. Did not expect this on the Aprilla. As I said, just top 10 in the championship at the end of the season would be nice. Just top 10 this race, despite qualifying in 9th, would be nice. Now he's chasing down Danny Pedrosa over the last couple of laps of this race for top 5. There's Kay Abraham down 24th on his 2-year-old Ducati. Unfortunately in last for the Czech rider, very popular rider. And he's definitely improved in his time in MotoGP. But will McDonald improve his position by the end of this race? That's the fastest lap. 53.8. As Rossi leads Vinales. But it's all about McDonald v Pedrosa on this penultimate lap. Who's going to win out? The Aprilla or the Honda? It looks like it's going to be the Aprilla through into the right hander, up into the top 5 for McDonald. Can he hold off Pedrosa into the next right? No, he can't. As he's a couple of seconds behind Dovi. Oh, and he's down again over a curve. So is Alex Rins from 15th. He rejoins ahead of his teammate though. There's Jack Miller down from 21st. There's quite a few falls for McDonald. His tyre's half worn. More than half worn on the rear. Once again, making a rookie mistake. He's got Zarco in 9th. McDonald can do battle with Lorenzo. His top 5 dream may be over after that fall. But very disappointing to see, even though it is his debut at MotoGP level, to see a couple of falls as he gets to really know Lorenzo. Kind of dirt tracks his way by him. Elbows out and everything. And now we've got Iannone. The battle of the sharpest elbows about to come up between him and McDonald. He's got a hold off the Ducati as he's really struggling to put the power down on this Aprilla. No wonder, look at the tyres. In the bottom right. Very worn. As now we go on to the final lap of this Qatar race. Can Patrick McDonald hold on to his bike and grab a top 10 finish? Or can he catch up to Iannone? Grab 6th. He's very good in this first sector. Oh, but the bike's not having it. So we go through the right, taking a little look at the Suzuki. That's what we expected Aprilla and Suzuki to be doing battle. That's all McDonald a bit wide. Doing battle for 6th, should I say. So Rossi past Vinales. Oh, McDonald all over the back of Iannone. And to be so careful getting on the power though out of these corners. It's maybe hurting his chance of getting by the Italian. Oh, but he's a bit slow there. He's going to the next right. He's just clipping these curves, make sure he's not running over them. Just as I say that. To the left hander. There's old Abraham down again. He's also done a double. Model kissing that curb as Vinales ahead of Rossi for the lead, for the win in this final lap. Looks like for McDonald's charging Iannone has petered out. This is just trying to keep it upright, take it home in a very solid 7th place. And it should have been so much more though without those couple of falls. As he going to the final corner. Get smooth on the power. And charge towards the line as Rossi wins a titanic duel against his teammate Vinales. Fantastic job from the Ductel. Wow, McDonald gets points in 7th, but he'll be thinking about those 2 falls and what could have been, especially as he did the fastest lap of the race on the Aprilla. And maybe he lost around 10 seconds for those falls. Could have been right up there at the finish. As Vinales lose out on the victory by a 10th of a second with Marc Marquez 1.5 seconds back on his Honda. Then the Ducati of Dovi in for 3 seconds back. And Pedrosa ran out double Honda top 5. Then Iannone, McDonald, Zarco, Petrucci up into 9th in the end. Great job on the Pramac ahead of his teammate Scott Redding. So double top 10 for Pramac. Then we've got Elisa Spargo in 11th, McDonald's teammate. Then we've got Folger in 12th. Cal Cocho down to 13th. Jorge Lorenzo down to 14th. And Los Baz grabbing the final point ahead of Alvaro Baptista with Caribam at the back. So the championship looks as you would expect after the first round, and in the constructors standings, Yamaha lead Honda by 9 points, with Ducati in 3rd, Suzuki 4th, Aprilla 5th, and KTM not on the scoreboard. And in the team's rankings, it is the factory Yamaha team 18 points ahead of the Honda team. Then we've got Ducati in 3rd, Aprilla Gresini in 4th ahead of Pramac, and Tech 3, but not by much, with Suzuki in 7th, LCR in 8th, Avinta in 9th, thanks to those Baz points, but Aspar, Mark VDS, and the factory KTM effort yet to score. So an up and down debut for McDonald. Fantastic pace on the Aprilla, but tyre wear was an issue towards the end. Couldn't attack, like he wanted to on that final lap, plus the couple of falls. Can he keep it upright in Argentina? So here we are in Argentina for 2 qualifying efforts in qualifying 1, as that's unusual line in the penultimate corner. I expect to see that quite a few times in the race, especially. As here goes Patrick McDonald on the Aprilla after a confident boosting debut in Qatar. And looking to build on it here and maybe get a top 5 that he should have got in Qatar last time out. But the Aprilla proving to be a much better bike than we expected. I thought a straight line it might lose some power to the factory guys of Honda, Yamaha, Ducati, especially Suzuki. Well, it wasn't too bad. Around the corner, it's handling like a dream for McDonald. Just under the brakes, over the curves a couple of times, just lost it, unfortunately. As that's braking way too early into this hairpin. The right-hander. That's this Tomas D. We're Hondo circuit. Very fun circuit to ride around. But very difficult as well, especially on the tyres in the race on that final lap. Might be a bit like Qatar, might be struggling. Get the power down with McDonald. This is definitely a banker lap, it feels like. Not too aggressive everywhere. Oh, just to say that rear end going out everywhere. Tries to get on the power early. Bit too early, McDonald. So you can't ride it like Moto2. Go a bit wider into penultimate corner. Final corner just a kink. But 37.2. Again, maybe a couple of seconds off the pace. Need to pick this up if he wants to make it through into qualifying 2. Taking a wide line this time, has the apex very late in that corner. And then into the left hander. You'll see that with a couple corners round there with the long radiuses. Apex is very late, but then you get corners like that, the kinks. The apex is very early. You just try and carry as much speed as you can through it. Onto this back straight, reach over 200 miles per hour. There's a 36.7 from Baptista. Probably not good enough to go through though. Number just 2 riders in this first qualifying session go through. Look at that second up, McDonald. Definitely not in this second lap. Looks like he's gaining up to Alex Rins on the Suzuki. We had enough of seeing that blue backside. That blue livery bike. Maybe you can get a toe heading into the penultimate corner though. Never know. It's again over that bump in the middle sector, losing the rear. He's lost a few tenths. This time a bit more delayed on the power. Bit smoother as well. So here towards this penultimate corner, Rin's going a bit wide. As Miller sets a 36.6. That's the time McDonald's aiming for, and he does a 35.8, which is very comfortable to get through. Fastest in qualifying on ahead of his teammate Espargos. Both Aprillas make it through ahead of the Pramac Ducati of Petrucci. Then you've got Folger, Miller, and Baz just missing out, along with Baptista, Rins, Rabat, Barbera, Kay Abraham, Paul Espargaro, Sam Lowe's, and Bradley Smith. So after a fantastic effort in qualifying 1, I've got 1 lap to repeat that performance in qualifying 2. Maybe even go a bit faster, like in Qatar. You know, I didn't show qualifying, of course. In qualifying 1, he set a high. Was it 53? Then in qualifying 2, he had to set a mid 53 to be on the 3rd row. Because he set a high 53 again, he would have been in the middle of the 4th row alongside his teammate. So McDonald definitely got to step it up. In qualifying 2, and he's run wide going on to the back straight. That is not how you do it. So you got the pilot hovering on this back straight. It's not the race yet. You won't get some thrilling dives going into the hairpin. Definitely use all the engine braking you can. Conventional braking. Bit wide rear end, not liking the power going down. And through this left hand, you've got a slight lift in a MotoGP bike. Maybe you change the settings, you could take that flat out, McDonald. A slight lift on this Aprilla. And through the right hander. Tyrita, that is. And through the left. Trying to survive that bump. To the right. And a bit wide going into left hander. Should be able to pick up the power early. Even though he's battling the rear end. Then into the penultimate corner, hook up this apex. Pick it up, go flat out through the kink. It's qualifying. Don't need to ride too much, and a 36.3. which is only good enough for the middle of the fourth row alongside Scott Redding on the Pramac and his teammate Espargo, who beats him by 0.004 of a second. Then we got Olga Lorenzo, Jan Zarco and Andrea on the third row. Then Pedrosa, Calcoccio and Andrea Davizio's on the second. But growing pole is Rossi by 0.007 of a second ahead of Marc Marquez, with Vinales rounding out the front row of the grid. So let's see if Patrick McDonald can grab another top 10, maybe even a top 5. So here we are looking at the grid in MotoGP. It's good they actually have the sounds in the background as well. No formation have like in Moto2. Snicking in the background, there are the two Aprilla lads in 10th and 11th, with no doubt some of those right at the back. As we wrap the engine of the Aprilla, waiting for the lights to appear and go out for this 7-lap race. Patrick McDonald with another super start, nice and smooth away jumps. Lorenzo's normally so good at the start of races, going down the inside. Pedrosa, who's again another good start normally, but he's run wide. Oh, that first corner still made up a position ahead of his teammate. He dives down the inside of Zarco, does he? Oh, Tech 3 man puts him onto the grass. Still not liking that, gives him a little push back. And down onto the back straight, trying to get into the slipstream of the Suzuki, while the Tech 3 Yamaha definitely has the slipstream of this Aprilla. And there is the helicopter still hovering there. I've heard he was just in that position overnight as well. Didn't even go back to his hotel room, did the pilot. As there's McDonald with the elbows out on Iannone. Trying to do the same on Pedrosa into the fast left. Oh, cut off by the veteran. He's got the inside line for the right. Over the curb on the inside as all Dovi gets ahead of Crutchlow, and oh, McDonald almost losing the rear for the right. Stays upright though. Loses the position to Pedrosa, but that's a small sacrifice for keeping the bike upright. It's Crutchlow ahead of Dovi in front for fourth. Crutchlow performing superbly on that LCR Honda. Ahead of the factory rider of Pedrosa. I know Crutchlow is also contracted as a factory rider, the LCR. Gets a top-notch Honda, he does. Factory support. McDonald trying to dispatch. Pedrosa is right into the first corner, he does, as Rossi and Vinales battling like a hell for the victory already. With Marquez with the popcorn right behind. Probably having the microphone as like a megaphone out as well, saying, I heard Rossi, you know, he said these things about you pre-race, why don't you, just dive it down the inside into the hairpin, Trying to be the devil on the shoulder of Vinales and Rossi. Looks like it's working though, as they're going side by side into the hairpin. And Marquez has got past one of them. He's got past Rossi. As now we've got 2 freeways at the top. McDonald joining up to Crutchlow and Dovi for this battle for fourth. Pedrosa almost a second behind, as all the helicopter pilots found somewhere new to hover. Over this right hand, obviously heard about McDonald's escapades on the opening lap, so I have to switch position. There's Zarco ahead of Lorenzo for 8th. Tech 3 and Ducati doing battle once again, just like Vinales and Marquez. The young Spaniards doing battle at the top. McDonald just about holding on to his Aprilla. He's got to take advantage of the tyres at this stage of the race, because they will be heavily worn at the end of it. Goes through the kink in the final corner, almost losing the bike on the dirt. What are you doing, McDonald? Second close scare, and we're only on to the third lap of the race. It's 1.3 ahead of Pedrosa, he was. As Crutchlow and Dovi are doing battle in front. Looks like the Englishman still ahead of the Italian. And it looks like the Yamahas are still 1-2 now. Mark has been shuffled back. So has a look at Dovi into the fast right hand king, but he just wants to get into the slipstream of that very powerful Ducati. So he's not making a move on Crutchlow either. Very interesting from Dovi. Oh, he is he? Into the hairpin? Not quite. As Marquez takes the lead from Vinales and Rossi. And now look at this for McDonald, right in the tail of the Ducati. He's right in the tail. The Honda. 3 manufacturers doing battle here. 4th. Somewhat down the inside of Dovi. Is that a top 5 position for the Aprilla? It is. Even though it's run by Gresini, and there's his teammate Lowe's out from 21st. It's Vinales ahead of Marquez for the lead. No, just ahead of Dovi. 4th, 5th, as nick of that rear tyre getting eaten up this race. Almost halfway worn, and we're just going on to the 4th lap. That will be a struggle on the final lap. But that's much smoother through the kink onto the start-finish straight and into the slipstream of the LCR Honda. Can he get past Crutchlow? 4th, he can. Now can he even dream of catching the top 3? With Marcus leading, that is a bit better for McDonald, as the Amos maybe have the outright pace. But Marcus performing wonders once again on that Honda. Let's go for the right and kink onto the back straight. Half-second lead on Crutchlow and Dovi. Second behind Rossi, Vinales and Marcus. They go 3 wide into the hairpin. Absolute madness from the top 3. But they're all surviving, and now Marcus has been shuffled to the back of the pack. Vinales leads ahead of Rossi. And here comes McDonald. Halfway through this race. Pushing hard. We get a podium in just his 2nd MotoGP race. That is unheard of. Unless your name is Marquez or Rossi. That they've done in the past. So a bit wide into the left-hander. There's Jorge Lorenzo down from 13th on the Ducati. You don't often say those words, Jorge Lorenzo down. But he is in Argentina today. As McDonald sets the fast out 36.4, he is pushing like a hell. 6/10 behind the top 3. Over a second ahead of Crutchlow. As Vinales and Rossi do battle. Can McDonald take advantage of them? Of all 3 battling in front. Be right on their tail heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. Or even onto the back straight. Not quite. Not quite. He's half a second back. Just gained another 10th in that first sector. 1.2 ahead of Crutchlow. Look at Marcus of that move to the outside in front of Rossi. No respect between the pair. Meanwhile, Vinales trying to hold it round the outside from his teammate for the lead. But Rossi takes it. Marcus's bold move does not pay off. Back into 3rd. And now we've got a 4-way fight for the victory here in Argentina. McDonald is definitely on their tail now. He can get right involved as Vinales gets held up by Marcus. McDonald into a podium spot for the first time in MotoGP. And now he's got the Yamaha of Vinales to hold off. He's got to try and catch up to Marcus and Rossi as he's gone right in the left-hander. That will not do though. Now we've got 2 pairs at the front, do we? No, Marcus down the inside as Vinales loses the front and he's down from 3rd. Crutchlow up to 4th, Dovi into the top 5. And Maverick Vinales, he saw it right in front of McDonald, losing the front end. As we go on to the penultimate lap of the race, Marcus leads Rossi. It is Honda, Yamaha, Aprilla at the front. We've got Ducati in the top 5 as well. Oh, and that's a much better run onto the back straight. Just 3/10 behind Rossi. And now he's getting some slipstream for once, McDonald down this back straight. Gotta be careful not to outbrake himself though. Don't think he has. Broke perfectly. Could maybe slot down the inside of Marquez, who just got bullied by Rossi in that hairpin corner. The Yamaha leads, the Aprilla in 2nd. Oh, is McDonald dreaming? Oh, almost into the back of Rossi. Into the right-hander. So that rear tyre is very heavily worn though. And see struggling through the right-hander. Oh, and struggling like a hell on the power for the left, and somehow he keeps it upright for the right-hander. McDonald's got 9 lives. He's using all of them up here in Argentina. Gonna start calling him the cat. He goes into the penultimate corner. And on to the final lap of the race. He's less than a second behind Rossi for the victory. 4 tenths ahead Marquez. Will he be able to stay on the podium? Will he be able to stay ahead of the Honda? Will he catch up to the Yamaha? But he's got the short shift ever out the corners now. Look how worn that rear tyre is. This may hurt him going onto the back straight as well. Oh, he's down! Too much curb! Has McDonald chucked a podium away? Why have you picked it up and been in the dirt? Can he even hold until a top 5 as there goes Danny? Oh, what have you done, McDonald? And here comes Maverick riding like a hell. For 6th. McDonald tries to hold it around the outside, but the Yamaha stays in front. And now he's got Johan Zarco right in his case. In the Tech 3. So holds the inside through the right. Zarco just goes round the outside though. Or does he? Donald holds him off just into the left-hander. We've got to have the big lift over that bump in the middle of the corner. And oh, Zarco into the back of McDonald. They both get unsettled though. As now we head towards the penultimate corner, side by side with the Frenchman. Oh, McDonald's outbraked himself. Where's he going? He goes through the kink and rolls over the line. Does that count? Is that 7th? It's 8th for McDonald. He did the fastest lap. But so close to victory. And just made a horrible mistake. And cost himself more good points. Cost himself a podium for Aprilla and for himself. Vinoni in 9th. Redding in 10th. Then Petrucci, Lorenzo recovering to 12th. Elish in 13th. Ahead of Alvaro Bautista with his first points of the season. And Jack Miller grabs the final point. Ahead of Jonas Folger by half. A second with Sam Lowe's at the back. So in the championship, McDonald drops down to 9th with Petrucci down to 10th. Equal on points with his teammate Redding. Well, at the top it is Rossi with a maximum 50 out of 50 after 2 very on the edge victories. Very tense battles as well with Marquez, who's up to second ahead of Vinales by 6 points after the Yamaha rider fell. With Dovi in 4th, Pedrosa in 5th. Quattro up to 6th ahead of Iannone, 11 points with Zarco and McDonald. And in behind, we have got Espargo down to 12th. Ahead of Lorenzo, who climbs up the order on his Ducati, ahead of Folger. And then Bautista up to 15th, ahead of Baz and Jack Miller in 17th after his first point of the season. We've just hit to Barber, Tito about Sam Lowe's, Alex Wins, Bradley Smith, Volkswagen and Kelly Abraham yet to score. So in the constructors standings, it's a maximum 50 points for Yamaha as well. 14 points ahead of Honda, 10 points ahead of Ducati, 9 points ahead of Suzuki, and Aprilla KTM not on the scoreboard. And in the team's rankings, it's a 22-point lead for Honda over Ducati, with Aprilla still in 4th, but a single point ahead of Pramac. Then Tech 3 in 6th, LCR up to 7th ahead of Suzuki, and Aspar up to 9th ahead of Avintia, with Mark VDS it's on the scoreboard, so it's only the factory KTM effort, not with any points. And what a start to his MotoGP career for Patrick McDonald. He's had thrills, sprills, nil and misses. He's run out of cat's lives already for this season. So can he stay upright around the circuit makers in Austin, Texas, and around the Circuiteros in Spain next time out? Find out then. South watching, and I'll see ya then.